Hello everyone, this is your friend Naruto Fix, and we are back with another epic What If Naruto fanfic. Which is, What If Naruto Unlocked the Rennegan in Childhood Part 1. If you love Naruto fanfics, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the journey with me. So, let's start the fanfic. The beginning of a new destiny. Naruto Uzumaki had always been the lonely child of Konoha, carrying the burden of the 9 tails sealed inside him. His life had been marked by cold glares, whispers, and the weight of being an outcast. Yet in this alternate timeline, destiny twisted in a far different way. At the age of 5, when the villagers pushed him down once again and left him bleeding in the shadows of an alley, something inside Naruto awakened. His vision burned, the world shifted, and when his eyes opened again, they were no longer blue. They were rings of power, the Rennegan. The boy didn't understand what had happened. To him, the world suddenly looked sharper, deeper, almost alive. Chakra signatures glowed around him, and with a single glance he could sense the life force of every villager who had once shunned him. This was no ordinary dojutsu. This was the legendary eye said to belong only to the Sage of 6 Paths. And it had awoken within the vessel of the 9 tails. Early awakening. At first, Naruto was terrified. The villagers who mocked him suddenly seemed fragile before the power he felt pulsing through his eyes. He ran from the crowd, stumbling through the dark alleys until he found himself near the Hokage monument. There, Hiruzen Sarutobi, the 3rd Hokage, found the child trembling. When the boy looked up, Sarutobi froze. Those eyes, the rings of the Rennegan, were staring at him. The old Hokage's pipe nearly fell from his hand. He knew the stories. He had read of the sage, of the godlike powers those eyes granted. For them to appear in Naruto, it was both a blessing and a terrifying omen. Hiruzen immediately ordered secrecy. Only a handful of the Anbu and himself would know. If word spread, other villagers would hunt the boy relentlessly, far worse than even the 9 tails vessel curse. From that day forward, Naruto was watched over more carefully. But the boy, naive as ever, only wanted to understand his power. When he concentrated, he discovered he could see chakra pathways in animals, even manipulate small stones with invisible force. He was clumsy, but he was learning. A new kind of training. By the time Naruto entered the Ninja Academy, his powers had grown. Though he was still the knuckle-headed prankster, beneath the laughter he was discovering abilities that no other student could dream of. When he focused, he could attract and repel objects, the beginnings of Shinra Tensei and Bansho Tenin. Once, during a sparring match, a bully charged at him. Without realizing, Naruto's eyes flickered, and the bully was blasted back across the training field by an invisible force. The instructors were shaken, but they reported nothing, following the Hokage's command. Naruto, however, started to grow curious. He felt like he had been given something powerful, something that set him apart not just as a Jinchuriki but as someone greater. Iruka Umino, his teacher, noticed too. Though Iruka still scolded Naruto for his pranks, he also saw flashes of incredible potential. And unlike the villagers, Iruka didn't look at Naruto with fear, he looked at him with cautious hope. The graduation exam. In this timeline, Mizuki's betrayal unfolded differently. Mizuki still tricked Naruto into stealing the Forbidden Scroll, but this time, when Naruto opened it, something inside him resonated. The Rennegan pulsed as his eyes scanned the sealing techniques. And instead of merely learning the Shadow Clone Jutsu, Naruto's Rennegan copied and analyzed the chakra flow of the technique at a frightening speed. He didn't just master it, he perfected it. When Mizuki attacked, thinking Naruto helpless, the boy's fury awakened. His Rennegan glowed in the moonlight, and with a shout, Naruto used Bansho Tenin, yanking Mizuki through the air into his grasp. Then, with terrifying instinct, he unleashed a barrage of perfected shadow clones that overwhelmed Mizuki completely. Iruka, who witnessed the event, stood in awe. This wasn't the same mischievous boy anymore. This was a child carrying godlike eyes and the will to use them. Naruto graduated not just as a genin, but as someone already feared by those who understood the weight of his power. Team 7 Reimagined. When Naruto was placed in Team 7 alongside Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno, dynamics shifted drastically. Sasuke, who had always been the prodigy, immediately sensed Naruto's power. The moment he saw those strange eyes in battle, jealousy burned inside him. For Sasuke, who carried the pride of the Uchiha and the Sharingan's potential, the existence of the Rennegan in Naruto was unbearable. Sakura was shocked too, but more than anything, she felt fear and awe. Naruto was no longer just the goofy idiot she ignored. There was something untouchable about him. Kakashi Hatake, their sensei, was the most affected. He had fought alongside legends. He knew what the Rennegan meant. Behind his lazy mask, his single Sharingan eye watched Naruto carefully. Training Naruto wasn't just about making him a shinobi anymore, it was about making sure this child didn't lose control and destroy the very village he was meant to protect. The Land of Waves mission. The first true test of Team 7 came against Zabuza Momoki, the demon of the mist. In the original timeline, Naruto had trembled in fear, unsure of himself. But here, with the Rennegan awakened, things were very different. When Zabuza's killing intent froze the team, Naruto's eyes glowed, cutting through the fear. He saw Zabuza's chakra moving like threads through his body. With a single step forward, Naruto used Bansho Tenon to drag Zabuza off balance, shocking both Kakashi and the enemy. Even Haku, Zabuza's companion, felt shivers when Naruto's gaze turned toward him. The boy could see through Haku's ice mirrors, tracing the chakra that powered them. When Haku tried to trap Sasuke, Naruto smashed through the mirrors using Shinra Tensei, shattering them like fragile glass. This mission didn't just make Naruto grow. It made his team, and Kakashi, realize that Naruto wasn't simply another rookie. He was already standing on the path of legends. Tensions with Sasuke. As Team 7 returned home, Sasuke's jealousy grew unbearable. He had always considered himself the strongest of the genin, the avenger destined to surpass all. But now, Naruto, the dead last, wielded powers that even the Uchiha clan could not claim. Their rivalry deepened. Training sessions turned into battles. Sasuke pushed his Sharingan harder and harder, but each time, Naruto's Rennegan outmatched him. Whether it was repelling his fireball jutsu effortlessly, or pulling Sasuke into a trap with invisible force, Naruto remained one step ahead. Kakashi tried to balance the two, but inside, he worried. The bond that was meant to form between Naruto and Sasuke was instead becoming a powder keg. The Chunin exams begin. When the Chunin exams finally arrived, the entire shinobi world began to notice the anomaly that was Naruto Uzumaki. During the written exam, his Rennegan allowed him to see chakra signals from other participants, analyzing the way the pens moved, copying answers without even trying. He passed effortlessly. In the Forest of Death, when Orochimaru himself appeared, the legendary Sanin's interest was piqued. ND measure. He had come for Sasuke, to plant his cursed seal, but the moment he laid eyes on Naruto's Rennegan, his plans shifted. This child, Orochimaru whispered, licking his lips. The eyes of the sage, far more valuable than any Sharingan. Quote, Naruto fought back with a fury Orochimaru hadn't expected. Though still young and inexperienced, the Rennegan gave Naruto insight into Orochimaru's movements. He repelled the snake summons, blasted Orochimaru with Shinra Tensei, and even shielded Sasuke and Sakura with a chakra barrier born of instinct. For the first time, Orochimaru retreated not out of mercy, but caution. He wanted Naruto alive, desperately. The preliminaries. In the preliminary matches, Naruto's power became impossible to ignore. Against Kiba Inuzuka, a battle that once had been comedic now ended in seconds. The moment Kiba charged, Naruto's Rennegan pulled both him and Akamaru into the air, slamming them down with invisible gravity. The fight was over before it began. The crowd murmured in disbelief. This wasn't the dead last. This was something else entirely. Even Gaara of the Sand, another Jinchuriki, took notice. His sand trembled as Naruto's gaze met his across the arena. For the first time, Gaara felt as though someone truly understood the monster inside him. Toward the finals. As Naruto prepared for the final matches, whispers spread across Konoha. Some called him a gift of the gods. Others, a weapon too dangerous to control. Hiruzen, watching from the shadows, knew the storm was coming. If Naruto continued down this path, he would become the strongest shinobi the world had ever seen. But whether that strength would protect Konoha, or destroy it, no one could yet say. Answer: the stage was set. Naruto Uzumaki, the boy once hated and ignored, now carried the eyes of divinity. His battles ahead would not just test his strength, but the very fate of the ninja world. Cliffhanger ending. As the finals loomed, a single night changed everything. Naruto, restless, wandered near the training grounds. Suddenly, his Rennegan pulsed violently. A voice echoed in his mind, deep, ancient, and commanding. You who carry my eyes, will you become the savior of this world, or its destroyer? Naruto clutched his head as visions flooded him, wars, destruction, gods and monsters clashing under the gaze of his own Rennegan. He collapsed to the ground, trembling. And in the darkness, a shadowy figure watched from the trees. Orochimaru smiled, his snake-like grin wide. The child is ripening, soon, those eyes will be mine. Quote, the finals of the Chunin exams. The day of the Chunin exam finals arrived, and the stadium roared with anticipation. Nobles, shinobi, and even foreign leaders filled the seats. Everyone had heard whispers of the boy with strange godly eyes, Naruto Uzumaki. Sasuke's match was delayed, but the one everyone secretly wanted to see was Naruto's. His opponent was Neji Hyuga, the prodigy of the Hyuga clan, who carried the Byakugan and the arrogance of someone born to win. Neji sneered as the match began. Fate has already determined the outcome, Naruto. You cannot hope to defy destiny. But Naruto simply smirked, his Rennegan glowing faintly. Then watch me rewrite destiny with my own hands. Quote, the battle erupted. Neji activated his Byakugan, veins bulging as he tracked Naruto's chakra. But what he saw stunned him. Naruto's chakra network was unlike anything he had ever witnessed. The Rennegan pulsed through every pathway, surging with almost limitless energy. Neji dashed forward, gentle fist strikes flying. Yet every time his hand came close, Naruto repelled him with bursts of Shinra Tensei. When Neji attempted his rotation, spinning into an impenetrable defense, Naruto smirked and extended his hand. With Bansho Tenon, he ripped Neji straight out of the spin, slamming him into the ground. The crowd gasped. Even the Hyuga elders whispered in shock. Naruto, once the village outcast, had dismantled the Hyuga prodigy with ease. Finally, standing over Neji, Naruto spoke. Fate isn't something you're born into. It's something you fight for. I'll prove it, by becoming Hokage. The arena erupted with cheers. For the first time, the village began to look at Naruto not with hatred, but awe. Orochimaru's Konoha crushed. But celebration didn't last. As Sasuke's delayed match finally began, Orochimaru's plan unfolded. Hidden sound and sand shinobi attacked, summoning chaos into the arena. Gaara, consumed by Shukaku's bloodlust, fled, and Sasuke chased him. Kakashi ordered Naruto to follow. But this time, things were different. Naruto caught up to Sasuke faster than ever. When Gaara began to lose control, his sand monster form rising from the ground, Naruto didn't hesitate. His Rennegan glowed, and with a mighty Shinra Tensei, he blasted back the sand's monstrous arm, shaking the entire forest. Gaara screamed in rage. You're just like me. A monster. Naruto paused, his eyes softening. For a moment, he saw himself in Gaara, the loneliness, the hatred, the pain. But unlike Gaara, Naruto had Iruka, Kakashi, and now a team that was slowly starting to believe in him. I'm not a monster, Naruto said firmly, Rennegan blazing. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and I'll prove that even someone like us can be accepted. Their battle was fierce. Gaara's Shukaku form grew larger, but Naruto's Rennegan allowed him to read every movement of the sand, breaking through defenses. When Gaara tried to fully release Shukaku, Naruto's Rennegan pulsed, and he used Chibaku Tensei instinctively for the first time. A black sphere formed in his palm, pulling chunks of earth and sand together, trapping Shukaku in a miniature moon. The forest fell silent. Sasuke stared in disbelief. Even Gaara, panting in exhaustion, realized this boy was something beyond human. The death of the third Hokage. Meanwhile, in the arena, Hiruzen Sarutobi faced Orochimaru in a desperate battle. The Sannin unleashed the forbidden reanimation jutsu, summoning the first and second Hokage. The crowd panicked as the titans of history clashed once more. Naruto returned just in time to see his grandfather figure, the man who had protected him all his life, locked in combat. Hokage Gigi. Naruto cried out, but Hiruzen only smiled at him through the chaos. Stay back, Naruto. You carry a future far greater than mine. Protect this village, as I have. Naruto's fist shook, but Kakashi held him back. This was not his fight, not yet. Answer, history repeated itself. Hiruzen sacrificed himself, sealing away Orochimaru's arms. But this time, as the third fell, his eyes lingered on Naruto, not with regret, but with pride. You will be the light of Konoha. Naruto screamed in anguish as the old man died before him. The Rennegan flared, shaking the very stadium with gravitational force, cracking stone pillars and sending debris flying. Everyone felt it, the godlike fury of a child who had just lost his most precious bond. Orochimaru staggered back, bloodied and burned. He licked his lips, staring at Naruto. Yes, those eyes will be mine. One day, boy. Then he retreated into the shadows, his body broken but his obsession stronger than ever. Aftermath and recognition. The invasion ended, but the village was scarred. Yet through the tragedy, Naruto had shown his strength to everyone. The villagers who once despised him now whispered his name with admiration. Children mimicked his Rennegan stance in the streets. Merchants spoke of the boy who fought Gaara and lived. Even the council, once eager to suppress him, now saw him as a weapon too valuable to ignore. But Naruto didn't care about fame or fear. He cared about the loss of Hiruzen. That night, he sat on the Hokage monument, eyes glowing faintly as he whispered, "I'll protect this village, Gigi. No matter what." Training under Jiraiya. Soon after, Jiraiya, the Toad Sage, appeared. In the original timeline, he came to prepare Naruto for the Chunin exams and the looming threat of Akatsuki. But now, he came for a greater reason. "I heard the old man's dying words," Jiraiya said, standing tall before the boy. "He wanted you to be the future of Konoha. With those eyes of yours, and the 9 tails inside you, you're more dangerous than even I can imagine. But if you're going to survive what's coming, you need training. Real training." Naruto's eyes lit up. "Then teach me. I'll master whatever it takes." Jiraiya smirked, though inside, he was cautious. He had seen Nagato once, another child who bore the Rennegan. That path had led to destruction. He swore not to let Naruto fall the same way. Their training began with chakra control, then summoning jutsu. But when Naruto tried the summoning contract, the Rennegan resonated strangely with the toads. Instead of summoning Gamakichi, Naruto accidentally summoned Gamabunta on his very first attempt. The giant toad roared in fury, but when Naruto glared with his Rennegan, Gamabunta actually faltered. "These eyes, they remind me of legends long past." Jiraiya was stunned. Naruto wasn't just progressing fast, he was rewriting the rules entirely. Shadows of Akatsuki. Far beyond Konoha, the Akatsuki stirred. News of a child Jinchuriki with the Rennegan had spread. Pain, the so-called leader, sat upon his throne in a Megacure, his own Rennegan glowing. "So, another has awakened the eyes of the sage," he murmured. Naruto Uzumaki, vessel of the 9 tails. "The time will come when his power will belong to us." Conan frowned. "If he truly wields the Rennegan, he may be more than even you, Nagato." Pain's lips curled into a cold smile. "Then he will learn despair. He will understand pain, as all must." The Akatsuki set their sights on Naruto, sooner than in the original timeline. Seeds of darkness. But even as Naruto grew stronger, shadows grew inside him. The Rennegan granted power, but also visions, glimpses of war, suffering, and godhood. Sometimes at night, Naruto would wake up shaking, his eyes glowing in the dark, haunted by whispers of a voice he didn't understand. Peace through control, justice through power, all will bow to the eye of the sage. Naruto clenched his fists, refusing to believe the voice. No, I'll use this power to protect, not to dominate. Quote, but deep inside, the temptation lingered. The cliffhanger. Months passed, and Naruto's training grew fiercer. With Jiraiya guiding him, his Rinnegan abilities sharpened, stronger Shinra Tensei blasts, more precise Bansho Tenin pulls, and even the beginnings of controlling the six paths. But one evening, as he trained alone, a masked man appeared before him. His single Sharingan glowed red through the mask. I've been watching you, Naruto Uzumaki, the man said softly. You hold the Rinnegan, and the Nine Tails. You are the key to reshaping this world. Naruto froze. Who are you? The man stepped closer, the air growing cold. Call me Madara, and soon, you will join me. For your destiny is not to be a hero, but a god. Quote, Naruto's eyes widened, his fists trembling as the Rinnegan flared to life. The clash of two destinies was about to begin. Naruto's life had changed drastically ever since his Rinnegan awakened. The child who was once shunned as the demon fox was now seen as something far more dangerous, a boy with the eyes of legend. Some saw him as hope, others as a threat, but none could deny the destiny that followed him like a shadow. The villagers' watchful eyes. The elders of Konoha no longer ignored Naruto. Danzo Shimura, in particular, had grown obsessed. Those eyes, if cultivated correctly, they could bring Konoha to ultimate supremacy, he whispered within the halls of Root. Unlike Hiruzen, who wanted Naruto protected and nurtured, Danzo wanted control. And to him, a child was easier to mold than an adult. Naruto, however, remained unaware of the full storm brewing around him. His days were split between training with Kakashi, occasional guidance from Jiraiya, and his growing bond with Team 7. Sasuke, though jealous, refused to admit that Naruto's power intrigued him deeply. Sakura was conflicted, torn between admiration and fear. But one thing was clear, Naruto was no longer just another genin. Training in secret. One night, as Naruto meditated near the training grounds, his Rinnegan flared, pulling him into a strange vision. He saw endless ruins, 6 shadowy figures looming above him, and whispers echoing. The Rinnegan is not just power, it is responsibility. Paths of pain, paths of creation, the choice will define the world. When he snapped out of it, his body trembled. He had unlocked a fraction of the 6 paths abilities unconsciously. Stones floated around him, his chakra spreading like a tidal wave. From that night, Naruto secretly practiced techniques he didn't even understand, repelling kunai midair, pulling weapons to his hand, sensing life energy in the forest. Kakashi began noticing the changes. He's growing too fast, he thought. Faster than any shinobi should. If we don't guide him carefully, he might burn himself out. Or worse, lose himself to the power. Quote, Chunin exams approaching. With the Chunin exams announced, the entire village buzzed with anticipation. Teams from every major nation were gathering. For Naruto, this wasn't just about promotion, it was a stage where his abilities would be seen by the entire shinobi world. Sasuke trained obsessively, determined not to be overshadowed. His hatred for Itachi burned brighter each day, but now it mixed with rivalry against Naruto. If he has eyes like that, then I need to be stronger. Strong enough to surpass him, and Itachi. Meanwhile, whispers spread among the foreign shinobi about the boy with strange eyes. Orochimaru, lurking in the shadows, was particularly intrigued. Rinnegan, in the vessel of the 9 tails. Fascinating. I must see him for myself. The Forest of Death. The first stages of the exam passed relatively smoothly, but the Forest of Death was where everything changed. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura fought together fiercely. When they encountered Orochimaru disguised as a grass ninja, the fight turned brutal. Orochimaru's killing intent froze Sakura in place. Sasuke struggled, fire jutsu clashing against the serpent's monstrous power. But when Naruto's Rinnegan activated, the forest itself seemed to shift. With a single wave of his hand, Orochimaru's summoned snakes were repelled, smashing into trees. The Sannin narrowed his eyes. So it's true, the boy has awakened the sage's eyes. Quote, Naruto's voice echoed unnaturally as his chakra flared. Stay away from my friends. For the first time in decades, Orochimaru felt excitement, and danger. Instead of killing Naruto, he branded Sasuke with the cursed seal and retreated. But his mind was already made up. The boy with the Rennegan must be studied, and eventually taken. Bonds tested. After the forest, tension grew within Team 7. Sasuke hated the idea of being protected by Naruto. His pride screamed against it. Don't think for a second I'll let you stand above me. I'll surpass you, Naruto, no matter what it takes. Naruto, though hurt by his words, remained determined. We're a team. I don't care how strong I get, I won't leave you behind. Sakura noticed the rift widening and felt powerless to stop it. But deep down, she also realized something else. Naruto was no longer the goofy boy she once dismissed. He was becoming someone larger than life. The preliminaries. The preliminary fights brought Naruto's powers into the spotlight. Against Kiba, his abilities overwhelmed the battlefield. Instead of just clones and brute force, Naruto used controlled gravitational pulls to redirect Kiba's attack, repelling him with bursts of Shinra Tensei. The arena shook as spectators gasped. The crowd whispered, "Is that the Rennegan?" Even the Sand siblings exchanged glances. Gaara, in particular, felt something stir within him. The monster inside him recognized the overwhelming force of another. But it was only the beginning. The threat grows. Behind the scenes, Akatsuki had begun to take notice. Reports of a child in Konoha with the Rennegan spread to their ears. Pain, the leader of Akatsuki, was disturbed. Impossible. The Rennegan belongs to me, to Nagato. Who is this boy? Conan's expression hardened. If it's true, then he could either be your greatest ally, or your downfall. Quote, Pain clenched his fists. Then I must see him for myself. If he is unworthy, I will claim those eyes. The final matches loom. As the final rounds of the Chunin exams approached, Naruto stood at the edge of the arena, overlooking the village he once longed to belong to. Now, the world was beginning to notice him, but not always in ways he wanted. Danzo plotted in the shadows. Orochimaru schemed for another chance. Sasuke burned with jealousy, and Akatsuki's leader had marked him as a threat. Naruto didn't yet understand the weight of destiny pressing on him. But he had already made a silent promise, no matter what, I will protect the people precious to me. Even if the world itself turns against me. The crowd roared as the proctor announced the beginning of the finals. Naruto clenched his fists, his Rennegan glowing faintly. The storm of fate was about to begin. If you enjoy this fanfic, then please like and subscribe my channel Narutofix 11 for more fanfic guys. Thank you.